What's the word, Kyle?
It's as we feared, Miss Tabitha. A twister. A real big one. Have you gotten everything stored away?
It's all taken care of. The storm shelter is as furnished as any room in my house. In fact, it's actually a little cozy down there. I reckon I might make my next home underground if there comes a need.
Is that so? Got room for a horse and his boy?
Sorry, I didn't add a stable to the shelter. I'm sure if you let him loose, he'll be fine. Animals tend to be smarter than humans when it comes to staying out of the way of storms.
If you say so. Go on, boy. Get. I'll see you when this is all over.
Come on in. Be sure to wipe your feet.
But it's just... Whoa. Did you bring your whole house down here?
Just the essentials. Watch out for the couch there. Would you like some coffee cake? I baked it down here earlier.
Sure. That storm is getting closer. Are you sure we're safe down here?
Absolutely. I've weathered many a storm down here.
So, what do we do now?
Well, I think it's a good time to just sit back and wait for the storm to blow over.
And what do we do in the meantime?
I think the best option is to listen to the radio. Don't you?
You've got a radio down here, too?
Can't say I take too kindly the thought of letting it get sucked up into a vortex. Call me crazy.
No, I meant, how are you supposed to get any signal down here?
It's an internet radio.
Ah, okay.
Mama, why can't I go swim with them?
You know what they say, Michelle. After eating, always wait 30 minutes before swimming.
They, always saying, but never seeing.
You know what they say.
Just who are they? A team of highly trained experts think they've solved the mystery. A secret microphone was placed in an abandoned warehouse where they are believed to have congregated. This is what was recorded.
The Council of They will now commence. Today, we'll begin by discussing the chewing gum myth. Terry, take it away.
Yeah, it's been scientifically proven that gum does not, in fact, stay in your stomach for 7 years. So, I think we're gonna have to let this one go.
And as for the myth about swallowing 8 spiders every year in your sleep?
That's ridiculous. Right?
Part of our duty as the Council of They is to come up with ridiculous things that they say. Let's move on to our next topic.
Well, they say if you swallow an apple seed, it'll grow an apple tree in your stomach. But our research shows that only children of ages 3 to 7 actually believe this. Should we push this one more?
Hold on. Is that a microphone? Terry, get it. The public can't know who they are.
Don't believe everything they say. Proverbs 18 tells us that the words of gossip are like delicious morsels, but the mouth of fools is their undoing. A message from Family Life.
Kyle?
Yes?
I appreciate you helping me get my garden ready for planting, but I'm not quite sure you need to dig that deep. I'm not putting in a storm shelter.
Oh, I must have gotten carried away. I'll fill it in.
Thank you.
Hello? Is there anyone over there?
Did you say anything?
Not me. I think it came from the other side of the fence.
It's me, Destin. Can I come in, please?
Hi, Destin. How are you?
Can I come in, please, Miss Tabitha?
Sure. Are you pretending to be a salesman or something?
No. Why?
I just figured there was some sort of reason you'd be lugging around a suitcase on a day like today. Isn't it a little heavy?
Kind of. I tried to pack light, but I've got a long way to go.
Where are you going? The Yukon or something?
Is that far away?
I think so. It's in Canada, I think.
That might still be too close.
So you're trying to go further away than Canada? That's quite a trip.
Yeah. Do you think the police in Canada use dogs to go after criminals?
I think so? That's a weird question.
It's just a question. No need to get nervous or anything.
Who's nervous? You're the one who's acting all weird and stuff.
Did you hear that? Be right back. Hide my suitcase.
Okay. Do you know what's going on, Miss Tabitha?
Not at the moment, but I suspect that it will come out sooner or later. Want some more coffee cake?
No thanks. But if you've got some milk, I'd love a glass.
All right, I'll be right back.
And I'll watch Destin crawl through your bushes. And listen to the radio.
Dan. What you got there?
Coffee.
No, I mean the...
Oh, him? Don't worry about him. He's just my trusty Thesaurus Rex.
You brought a dinosaur into my office?
Well, I've got a lot of really important...
Significant, serious, imperative,
critical emails to write today, so I thought I'd bring him along to help me write better. See, watch. Thesaurus. What's another word for large?
Massive, enormous, gigantic, immense.
Thesaurus? What's another word for terrified?
Alarmed, frightened, scared, aghast.
Yep, that's about right.
Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Colossians 4:6. A message from Family Life.
So, has Destin come back for his suitcase yet?
No, I lost sight of him when he ran behind the tool shed.
Huh. Well, if you see him again, ask him if he wants any coffee cake.
I'm not old enough to have coffee yet, Miss Tabitha.
Oh, Destin. I didn't see you there.
Okay, that does it. What is going on with you, Destin? Are you playing hide and seek with a dangerous fugitive or something?
Oh, what?
What Kyle is trying to say is that you've been acting very strangely this morning. Is there something wrong? We can help you if you let us know what's going on.
Can you fix cars?
You crashed a car? Already? You're so young!
I didn't crash a car. I crashed into one.
Okay, though it might look a little different on the insurance form, I'm pretty sure that's the same thing.
Maybe you should start at the beginning, Destin.
Well, I guess it started when I got on my bike this morning to go to Mr. Jacobs' house. I was in a hurry and I was trying to tie my shoe.
But how does that work?
It doesn't. That's how I crashed into my dad's car.
Oh my. I hope you're okay.
I was fine until I looked at the car. There's a big scrape in the paint and it's bad. I tried to fix it with my paint set, but the colors don't match.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not the same type of paint.
I know Dad's going to be really mad when he sees what I did, so I've decided to run away. I'll go so far away that my parents will forget me, and I won't get in trouble for crashing Dad's car. And after I leave, they'll be saving so much money from not feeding me and getting me clothes and stuff that in like a year, they'll have enough to fix the car.
Somehow, a kid's not something you can forget, I don't think.
Well, I can't pay to fix it. I've only got $2.50, and that's going toward granola bars to feed me until I can get a job in Australia.
This whole story is very interesting. And you know, it reminds me of a story that is talked about in the Bible.
Really? I don't think they had cars in Bible times, Miss Tabitha.
Or bikes. Or Australia, for that matter.
They didn't have Australia?
You don't hear about kangaroos in the Bible, do you?
What I meant was that there's a story about a young man who does something wrong and then thinks that running away is the only answer.
Really? Did God do some sort of miracle to fix everything? Because I'm not sure he's going to do that for me this time.
Why don't you guys listen to the mini radio, and I'll be back with some of my Sunday school supplies.
That doesn't answer my question.
Just chill out for a minute. She knows what she's talking about, even if we don't right now.
Faster than a child dismissed to Sunday school. It's Parable Man.
Parable Man. Here, Betsy. Oh, Betsy.
Here, chicka, 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 chicka. What seems to be the trouble, fretful farming folk?
Well, shucks, Parable Man. Could you use your supervision to help us find our lost chicken, Betsy?
We rounded up all 99, but number 100 done wandered off.
Of course. You know, this quest for your lost chicken reminds me of the way God loves his children.
Lost chickens remind you of the Lord?
Indeed. God is the good shepherd who will leave his sheep to chase after the one who has wandered astray. No person is too much trouble for him.
Well, call me a bucket. I didn't figure he loved me that much.
Well, that's great and all, but we're burning daylight. Think we could start finding Betsy a little faster?
All right. I'll take to the skies and find her with my super seeing.
Say, is that Betsy?
Oh, I reckon it is.
Should we tell Parable Man?
Nah, he'll figure it out.
The Adventures of Parable Man. On Family Life.
All right, I've got the flannel board set up, and now I'm all set to tell the story of Onesimus.
So what exactly is an Onesimus, Miss Tabitha? Is that like a squid or something, or?
It's the name of a person, a very important person, as you will soon find out.
Okay, so when does this story start?
After Jesus came back to life on Easter Sunday and went back to heaven, his disciples were told to go throughout the world and tell everyone about him and what God had done for them.
So basically missionaries.
Exactly. These missionaries went all across the ancient world telling all they could about Jesus and the forgiveness he brings to the world. Probably the most famous of these missionaries was a man named Paul.
Oh yeah, I've heard about him. He got in a shipwreck and stuff.
Anyway, one day, when Paul was at home, he met a man who was on the run.
Really? Why? Did he scratch his parents' car or something?
The Bible isn't very clear on that. There probably wasn't a car involved, but we do know that this man Onesimus had done something against his boss, Philemon, and it must have been bad because Onesimus ran away.
So what happened next?
Well, like I said before, the Bible isn't super specific, but from what is written, we find out that while Onesimus stayed with Paul, he learned about Jesus and decided to become a Christian. This was wonderful! At last, he was free from the guilt that comes from doing what is wrong. But there was one thing he still had to do.
Really? What?
He had to go back to Philemon and make things right between them.
Really? That must have been really hard.
I suspect it would be. Thankfully, he wasn't going alone. As it turns out, Paul and Philemon were actually friends. And Paul wrote a letter for Onesimus to take with him, asking Philemon to forgive Onesimus, and if money was an issue, Paul would cover the bill.
Whoa! So what happened?
Yeah. Did Philemon listen to Paul and forgive Onesimus?
The Bible doesn't say, but the only...
What? How can you tell us this story and not tell us if it turned out okay?
Yeah, if it's going to be something we learn from, then how can you just leave us hanging there?
You didn't let me finish. I said, the Bible doesn't say, but the only reason we know about this story at all is that the letter Paul wrote to Philemon is part of the Bible, which means that Philemon shared it with other Christians so they could hear what God was telling him to do in this letter from Paul, which probably means he did what Paul said to.
So it did turn out okay?
More likely than not.
So, if this letter's in the Bible, where would I be able to read it?
I'd start in the New Testament and then maybe the book of Philemon.
Okay, I guess that was a dumb question.
I figured you and Onesimus had a lot in common, Destin, seeing as you're on the run too. Hopefully this story helps you make the right decision.
Yeah, I'm not there yet, Miss Tabitha. I've got to think about this for a while.
Oh, of course. I'll give you space for a bit.
Can we listen to the mini radio while we give him space?
I think we can manage that.
A wanted man.
There's a thief! After him!
Trying to outrun his past.
No! Do what you want with me, but I'm not going back!
There's only one place you're going.
But when he makes an unlikely friend...
So, who are you then, old man?
My name is Paul.
Everything will change.
You are not running from your earthly master, Onesimus. You are running from God.
Running is all I know. There's no rest, no forgiveness for someone like me.
I believed the same thing myself once, before I met Jesus.
A story of change, forgiveness, and reconciliation.
You're telling me to go back after what I've done to him?
You already have the Lord's grace, my child. Now you must make things right with Philemon.
Philemon, the Bible. Read it again, or for the very first time. Don't miss the story God is telling. A message from Family Life.
So I've gotten the rest of the rows ready, Miss Tabitha. You want me to start planting?
That would be great, Kyle. Want to start with the beans? I'll be there in a moment. I've got to check in with our resident fugitive.
Have fun.
How's it going, Destin? Any new thoughts?
Kind of. I've been thinking about what you were talking about. You know, making things right and asking for forgiveness. And I started wondering something else.
Oh, what was that?
There are a lot of bad things that people do in this world. I mean, when my parents watch the news, it's scary how much bad is out there. And I was wondering if someone can be so bad that even God won't forgive them.
That's a pretty big bunny trail you've been going down, isn't it?
Bunny trail?
I was just remarking on your train of thought. But to answer your question, there is nothing we can do that God cannot forgive. Romans 8:38 and 39 says that nothing anyone can do can separate us from God's love. And Jesus tells us in Mark 3:28 that there is no sin too big for God. We just need to go to Him. It's when we decide that we don't need forgiveness from God that we get in trouble.
Well, I know I need forgiveness. No question there.
That's a good start.
Yeah, I should probably go home and ask for forgiveness from my parents too, huh?
That sounds like the best option to me. If I was your mom, I would much rather know that my kid was safe than never see them again because they thought I'd be angry.
Yeah, I guess that plan didn't make much sense, did it?
Here, to make it easier, I'll help you with your suitcase. And maybe having me around will help things go smoother.
Kind of like Paul writing to Philemon?
I won't say the thought didn't cross my mind. Ready to go?
Yeah, I'll get the gate for you.
Thank you.
So, I got all the beans planted, and I think next we should... Miss Tabitha? Destin? Hello? Miss Tabitha? Weird. They just left? The radio's still on, so they can't have gone too far. Hello? I guess I'll turn this off so it doesn't drain the batteries.